Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a roundup. It's been a while. This is my first roundup video in my new place. I'm going to do it a little differently. I know I've been doing the ranking style for a few months. Some people are not a fan, which I understand. So I'm going to do it my classic way, the way I've been doing it for years. But I did add a category, and that's products that didn't work for me, but may work for you. So we'll start today's video with the products that disappointed me, the ones that I didn't find were good quality. Then we'll move on to the products that didn't work for me, but may work for you. Then we'll go to the products I really liked, but they may not be the most unique, or there may be a few things I want you to be wary of. They may have worked for me, but not for you. And then we'll end with my standouts. So my favorite products that performed the best and that I've been rotating through quite a bit, and the things that feel very quality and that I would recommend to you to spend money on them. So let's get into it. So yes, let's start with the disappointments so we can get the negative out of the way and we end on a positive note. So my least favorite product I've tried recently are the L'Oreal Lumi Le Liquid Blushes. Unfortunately, these are quite difficult to work with. I feel like they do pack quite a bunch of pigment, which in some cases that's really good, but this product dries very quickly, so that ends up being very patchy to work with. And once they're blended on your cheeks, they like immediately start fading, which was so strange. I know these are newer to me. I just tried them out maybe like a week and a half ago, but I have been trying them, and every time I use them, I have to wipe off my cheeks and restart. They just aren't quality to me. I was hoping that the shades that have a little bit of a glow to them, not the dewy shades, but the shades that start with glowy, those are the ones that have like a really pretty pearl. I found that they kind of look like the Charlotte Tilbury like Pinkgasm blushes, but again, they fade so quickly, which is a shame because I really like the size of the pearl in the shimmerier ones. I find that they were like really nice and fine and flattering, like it wasn't too glittery or anything. So this one is a shame. I had hope, but they don't do it for me. But if you're looking for something like a liquid blush from the drugstore, the E.L.F ones are really nice, and they do have shades that come like in a flatter tone or some that have a little bit of a pearly dimensional shift. So I would head that way instead of the L'Oreal way. And I believe E.L.F is more affordable than L'Oreal, usually, in Canada anyways. Another L'Oreal disappointment were the eyeshadow sticks. The only ones I actually do enjoy are these two shades here. I will be keeping these, but I might pass these other shades along. The two shades that I really liked are 100 Ice Sparkle and 115 Twinkly Rose. So you can build these up for like a super opaque look, or you can get kind of a sparser topper eyelid vibe. I think they're really pretty. So these ones are worth it. These ones actually blend out quite well, but the other shades I've tried with different eyeshadow primers and such, but they just set way too quickly, and I have to be quite rough on my eyelids. Like even in the demo shots I filmed for this video, I really displaced my contact lens, and I was like, I shouldn't be using this much pressure on my eyes. Like that's not going to be good for me long term. To blend them out, you do have to be super vigilant, and yeah, you have to use that lots of pressure. And there's so many eyeshadow sticks out there. These just were not doing it for me either. Ooh, I feel like a giant hater on all these products, but the last product I have in this section are the Revlon Color Stay Multiplayer eye pencils. So what's odd about this line is that each one performs differently from one another. There are some that are kind of good, like the one I used in the demo clip. I believe that was the darker brown, which is the shade 402 High Stakes. That one actually performed well, but the other ones I've tried, like they're way too wet and glossy, so when you start to blend them out, they kind of like displace and they just become really patchy and difficult to work with. Like there's a middle ground. I basically had the opposite experience with these than I did with these. These just didn't set quick enough, so the pigment just kind of almost got absorbed, and the more you wear these throughout the day, the more they fade as well. So not it for me either. So now let's get into the products that didn't work for me, but they may for you. So I think the biggest one was the Perfecto foundation. This is the Hydrolux Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. This isn't made for oily, acne-prone skin types, which is my skin type. And I know a lot of people in my initial review were like, why are you even reviewing this in the first place? I was too curious, okay? And I did it for the people who have oily skin and are wondering what would happen. And that was a great example that, yeah, it's not made for the oily skin gals. I have seen that a lot of people, now that this has been out for longer. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. Some people really like the super dewy kind of glossy look on their drier skin type, and others don't like that at all. So I think it just comes down to your preference and what you're willing to pay. For me, this was just too expensive for something that makes me look super, super greasy. And I did experience minor breakouts. They were nothing crazy, but I did end up with a little bit of acne after using this. So this was not for me, but worth saying what I had to say. Oh, you guys, I'm so torn on these right here because I love the colors so much and they do excite me for some reason, although the packaging is kind of like weird and bulky and strange. The colors of the Road blushes just get me. The colors are so nice. I did film like a swatching video when I initially got them. Maybe I'll put it in here so you can see the shades. But the colors are gorgeous, but these are just a little bit too dewy for my skin type too, and I experience quite a bit of fading throughout the day. I'm not sure if that's just due to my skin type or due to the formula of the product. I could go around it and like set it immediately with powder and like a similar powder blush shade to kind of lock it in place, but that's a lot of work. Like I would do it because I already have these, but I wouldn't go out and get one if I knew of that, you know? Like I feel like that's way too much work. There's better cream blushes out there that aren't going to fade on oilier skin types. But you'll have to let me know if you have like a normal to dry skin type if these fade on you, because I would really like to know that, and I'm sure others would too, and I'm sure other people would really appreciate that in the comments too. I will be keeping a few of these shades though because they're just so cute. My favorites were Freckle and the pink one, Juice Box, and the peachier one. So kind of like my 3 moods. So that's Freckle, kind of like a nice terracotta bronzy shade, really cute in the summer. There's Juice Box, a gorgeous pink, and this one is Spicy Marg, really cute. Oh, and I think I also liked Toasted Teddy. I think I thought Freckle was Toasted Teddy, you guys. Yeah, that's what happened there. I love this type of color. So pretty, a little bit brown, little mauvey, so cute. Yeah, as you can see, very torn on me, but in reality, they're not the best fit for me. So moving on, I have this Power Grip Dewy Spray from E.L.F. I had hope because I love the Power Grip, we all know that, and I love the Milk Makeup Setting Spray that's kind of similar to this one with like the 2 phases. This one is really nice and fine. I do like the spray, but the way it smells really bothers me. It doesn't even have a fragrance, it just smells weird and it makes me sneeze so much. And another thing is that it doesn't really do anything for me and my skin type again. It just kind of makes me look greasy. It just wasn't a fit. Unfortunately, the NYX Buttermelt blushes didn't really work out for me. I'm going to look at the other shades that are available next time I'm in the drugstore, because maybe there's a shade that's not as severely pigmented for my skin tone. But yeah, these are probably best for people who have medium to deeper skin tones because they pack a punch. Like these are more pigmented than most eyeshadows, I swear. So that's pretty difficult to use on the cheeks, I find. I don't love like ultra pigmented blushes. I like one that you can like ease and build up to a super pigmented state. That way it doesn't immediately start off patchy. And I have tried to use my trick where I load up my brush with some translucent powder, dip into this, and then I kind of mix my own like lighter color. It just doesn't really work because these are shimmerier formulas, so it just ends up looking a little strange. So these didn't work out for me, but I will see if it was just like the specific colors I have. That's a big possibility, so maybe there'll be a future update there. And the last product I have in this section is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. This is a silicone-free smoothing primer, and I've tried this. It didn't really do anything for me. It does have like an immediate like smoothing look to it. You can see that really well in the demo clip. It does like really soften the look of the skin, but as the day goes on, it just kind of doesn't do anything. And once I add foundation, it doesn't really look that different if I were to not even use this in the first place. So to me, it was just like an extra product for nothing. Let's get into the things I really liked. So these are the Well People blushes. I think these have been out for longer than I initially thought. I thought these were newer because I got sent them in PR, but I think these have been out for a minute. These are very similar to the Kosas Blushes Life blushes. Like they're pretty exact in the finish and the blendability and all of it. And I believe you get a little bit more product in these if I'm not mistaken. I feel like, let me double check. Yes, I was correct. I remembered that correctly. You get 0.5 more than the Blushes Life from Kosas. So if you've been wanting this, but in a smaller container, more compact, but like same, but different brand, I would say go for it. The colors are really cute. My favorite is the shade Superpowder. No, that's Superpowder. Sorry, these are called the Superpowder blush powders. My favorite shade, Hazelnut Harvest. Very cutesy. Another blush I really like is the IT Cosmetics Glow with Confidence Sun Blush. So this is a really unique blush formula. It feels really lightweight and gel-like, and when you're blending it out, it has a super cooling sensation that is just really nice, especially when it was in the middle of summer. And this is a really cute color. I have the shade Sunlit 10, so it's like a nice soft peachier everyday color. Really nice, and just the texture is so nice and slippy, but once it's on your cheeks it does kind of settle down and set in, so you're not left with something like wet and smudgeable. It kind of locks in and stays there, and it feels really nice and refreshing. I just noticed I have matcha smudged on my arm. But yeah, I really like this formula. It stood out to me quite a bit. Now, this is the E.L.F. Brow Laminating Gel. I really like this stuff. There was only one day that it didn't perform very well, and that was the day I tested out the Perfecto foundation. Otherwise, this stuff works really. What is that spooky noise? Sorry, I heard a noise, obviously. I think I almost like this more than the Kulfi Beauty one, which is kind of shocking. It has kind of a thicker consistency, and what I've been noticing with the Kulfi one, it kind of gets glossy throughout the day for me with my oilier skin. Like obviously the skin under my eyebrows are also oily, so it just like didn't mix really well, so I've been sad about that, honestly. But this is nice and thick, and I find that this one sticks my brows in place more so than the Kulfi Beauty one, and it's really nice. If you use just a little bit or a lot, it works really well. So you can really plaster your brows to your face if you want to get that kind of look, or you can kind of make it look really nice and voluminous and bushy. So it's been kind of fitting into my brow life quite easily. Now I have some lip liners. I've had these for a long time. I've just realized I never updated you guys on my thoughts on them. They just kind of got lost in the mix. These are the Kosas Hot Liners. I feel kind of like I really like them, but I could go without them, you know, like it's not like one of my top favorite lip liner formulas. I think there are some really nice shades in the mix. The ones I've been using the most are Beyond 100, which is softer, and Max. The red one is really nice too. I just haven't really used it in a lip combo yet, but those have been like the ones I just reach for. They're nice. They have a good longevity. It's not like the most long wearing thing. It doesn't compare to the new Fenty ones or the Freck Beauty lip liners. Like they don't lock in as dramatically, but you get a good wear time. Cute shades, good performance. I like them. They're sticking around, but they're not like my ultimate favorites. And it's also fun. I like a retractable lip liner. I think it's kind of handy to travel with, just in case if you forget a sharpener. But on one end you get a little brush, and then if you pull that further, you do have a little sharpener, just in case if you need to get a crisper line for your lip look. So I do really like them. Same goes for these new Half Magic Beauty Sculptitude 2-in-1 lip liners. I know these aren't new, but they came out with kind of nudie shades. Before they were all like really wild, colorful colors, but these are really fun. You get a 2-in-1 situation. So my two favorite duos are Badassery Parade and You're My Taupe, and the More Haze and Seize the Slay. Seize the Slay duo and More Haze are kind of like a nice everyday brown situation. So you could use this on the outskirt and then this in the middle, which is a fun option, or you can use either side and then use something else with them. And then the Taupe duo has like a really nice contour color. It's such a good one. It doesn't lean pink or green or yellow. It just is like really nice and neutral. It's kind of a mix of all those undertones, which is just perfect. And the other side is a black, which may not be as versatile to some people, but sometimes it's fun to add a little bit of black to just increase the contour of a lip. If you just use like the tiniest amount, it can look really nice and shadowy. But yeah, I think these are really fun, but they do wear about the same way as the Kosas ones. So like not the most longevity ever, but still a good amount of longevity. I think they're really awesome. I love that they're like a 2-in-1 situation, very unique. Then I have some base products here. So this is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. This has been growing on me more and more that I use it. It's the concealer I'm using today. So this one's interesting. It has kind of like a really light texture, but it also has like this nice soft moussey texture in it too, and it actually looks really nice and softening under the eyes. This is my first like yummy skin product from Danessa Myricks that I actually get along with, which I'm quite excited about. It's one that I've been gravitating more and more towards. It's starting to become one I automatically think of when I'm choosing products for the day. So that's awesome. I am using the shade 4 if you're like a shade twin of mine. So I feel like it could be one of those situations that the longer I have it, the more I love it. Similarly to this product here. So at first with the E.L.F. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, I did not get along with it in my first video using it. Same with the few other times I used it. But I've been using it again like the last 2-ish weeks here and there, and I like my results more and more. I forget what my initial thoughts were, but I believe it did kind of look a little broken up in some parts. I don't know if it's just because the seasons are changing and this is just laying on my skin better or what, but it's working better. The tone of this one, I'm gonna have to see if there's a better shade match for me. This one's a little bit yellow, but otherwise, I think it's actually pretty nice. It stays put, and other products have been layering on it quite well. So I'm excited about that. I don't get along well with a lot of drugstore foundations. The only one that I adore is the L'Oreal Super Blendable one. Otherwise, I haven't had that best of luck. But this one, I feel like I might grow more and more on it. Kind of like my situation like the Makeup Forever HD Skin. I believe I gave that one an initial horrible review, and now it's like my #1 favorite foundation. Sometimes things just need a little bit more time than like a month and a bit. And my last liked product is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation. So this one packs quite a bit of coverage. I would say that this is almost like in between medium and full, like kind of like just the perfect in between of that. It's not like the fullest, but it has a really nice finish to it. And I've been really liking it. It does give a really softened look to your skin, but without making it look super matte and uncomfortable. Like there's still a lot of dimension there. So it stands out to me in my collection. Some things I really like about this is although it has kind of like a higher coverage level than what I typically go for, it feels very comfortable on my skin. I don't feel like I'm wearing a mask of makeup. Things have been pairing it with it really well. It's just been kind of like an easy product to introduce into my rotation, and I feel like my love for this will grow over time. And once I get a shade that actually is for me. These ones are a little bit too yellow. I think I'm in the neutral realm for Huda Beauty. So during the Sephora sale that's coming up, or maybe sooner than that, I think I'm going to pick up a different color. Now let's finish up with my standout products, so the ones that I love the most. I'm going to start with this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. So I don't use this as a foundation at all. I actually dislike the way it looks as a foundation. It's way too glowy and it makes my skin look oddly dry for such a glowy product. But I've been using this as like a stick version of the Hollywood Flawless Filter, or just as a highlighter. I don't even actually really use this underneath of my foundation. I mostly just use it as a stick highlight on top, just in place of a actual non-foundation highlight. And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It doesn't look dry in that way in the highlighting areas. It's really flattering, very pretty, really thin looking, but glossy and glowy and glorious. So I like it in a different way. Another highlight I've become obsessed with, truly, is the Half Magic Beauty Beam Trap. Oh, this is what I'm wearing today. I put it on the bridge of my nose and of course in the highlighting areas on my cheekbones. It's so nice to work with. It's just, it filled a void that I've had. I've said this a few times over the time I've owned this. It is like the perfect combination of the discontinued Kosas blush duos with the highlighting side. I love that highlighting side, but it's not as wet and slippy. And it also reminds me of the MAC cream color bases, but not as dry. So just like the perfect mix of them. So nice, really easy to work with. Although it's like a balmy product, it doesn't ever feel sticky. It just kind of meshes into your makeup, looks flawless and sunken in, and just, it's dreamy. It's truly just so dreamy. I love it. These eyeshadow palettes have just done something for me. I haven't been interested in eyeshadow palettes in a long time. I kind of like to mix a bunch of products lately, but I love these eyeshadows. They're so pretty. These are the Sydney Grace palettes in Southern Spring and Western Summer. Southern Spring is so pretty. I love the color story we get in here. We get these grungier greens, these stunning fall berryish tones. I'm wearing some of them on my eyes today, like in the crease and on top of the Victoria Beckham Bordeaux eyeliner, just to like soften it and such. And then these really nice, like kind of everyday neutral tones that kind of balance out these other colors. And then this Western Summer is like really nice and poppy. Look at these blues and greens and yellows. Really nice balanced palette here, and the shimmers are insane. I kind of got carried away in the b-roll, as you'll see. I was entering Delululand. I was way too tired by the time I was swatching these on my eyes, but you'll see I went for a ride with a little bit of one of the colors, and I couldn't believe how far it stretched on my eyes. It was wild, but man oh man, are they ever gorgeous. Even if you're not drawn to the specific colorways that I'm drawn to, Sydney Grace's eyeshadow formula is like really beautiful. I have had a lot of their palettes before and they're always consistent. It just depends on what color story you're interested in and what you see yourself wearing all the time. So based on your preferences, but Sydney Grace in general, gorgeous eyeshadows. And another cool thing that they offer different depths in their eyeshadow palettes. So these are in the light version, and they also offer deep for deeper skin tones, which is something I haven't seen before, and I think is like a really unique and cool quality to offer. The Makeup by Mario setting powder has become the only setting powder I've been using. This is such a softening and just beautiful blurring powder that just really sets your makeup, blurs it to the max without feeling super dehydrating and too matte. Like, it doesn't cut all of the skin finish out of your skin. It just looks really nice and natural, but super blurred, which is awesome. Another thing I really like this for is everything. Like, it looks gorgeous under the eyes to set a concealer, but it also looks really nice all over the face. As you may know, like, I usually have 2 different powders for those 2 different jobs. Usually like something that's like extra ultra blurring under my eyes and that's a little thinner, and then something a little bit more opaque for the rest of my face, but this just does it all for me flawlessly. My favorite shade is Too Neutral Light. And now we'll finish with lip products. Lip products, oh my gosh, I love lip products, okay? So these are the Kulfi Beauty Lassi Lips Staining Lip Oils, and these are really nice lip stains. I love how nourishing and lustrous they look on the lips. They're not like a super lacquered look like a lot of other lip stains. Like, they're not as intensely glossy as the Rare Beauty ones per se, but they have a really nice, like, gorgeous translucency while still having a nice amount of pigment. My 3 favorite shades have been these ones here. I'll quickly swatch them. So we've got Black Cherry, First Sari, oh my gosh. And this beautiful brown one that I've been kind of using as a lip contour in combination with either one of these other tones. This beautiful brown is the shade Tamarind. So these are gorgeous. They also have some other shades, which I've swatched in the B-roll, I believe, and they have such a nice, like, soft glow to them, as you can see in this swatch, and they stain very closely to their top, like, initial layer. They have kind of uniquer colors when it comes to lip stains. Oftentimes I find them to be a lot warmer in tone, but these ones offer some cooler, just different kind of colors, which I appreciate. And they stain really evenly and well. Like, these have only been on for a couple seconds and they've stained that much already. But if you leave them be and really like saturate your skin, they look gorgeous. They have a good amount of wear time. I wouldn't say they're as like long wearing as the Romantic Lasting water tints or the Statue lip stains, but somewhere close to there. The Givenchy Rose Perfecto Balms, I've been reaching for them nonstop. I have had these 2 shades for a while. Like, these have been out and in my collection, but they brought out a few more colors during the summer and oh my goodness, I love them. So my favorite has been this shade right here, the shade 220. It's like a really nice corally red, and the newer colors, or just I guess these 2 shades, 220 and 109, have kind of like a glitterier finish to them, which I really like. I'll show you close to like their version of Black Honey. This is 11. So you can see there's just a little bit of a glitter, and these previous ones were more flat, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'll add this one even though it's not the shade I was using. Gorgeous. Maybe I'll add a little bit of this one too for more fall. The colors and just the way they feel keep me grabbing them again. keep me grabbing them. I don't know if that, I've been talking for a while already, getting into the Delulu zone. They're really nice and they feel really nourishing and hydrating. They have a balmier finish and texture in comparison to like a gloss, although they look like a really nice gloss. Hold on, I have a lot of product loaded onto my lips. I was initially wearing the Haus Labs gloss in Fig, so I don't know if these two products are gonna mesh well together. We'll see. But oh my goodness, if you have experience with the Rare Beauty glossy lip balms, very similar texture, but these have a thicker and richer, balmier texture, and they have a little bit more pigment, and they also have a really cooling sensation on the lips. It's not like an uncomfortable plumping feel or anything. It just has a little bit of a cooling tingle, which I really like. So those have been huge favorites. This has been in my purse. I had to go dig it out for this video, but we're going to finish on probably the products of the month for me, which have been the Fenty Beauty new lip products. The Gloss Bomb Stix, love them. Love, 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 love them. Especially because I've had to get rid of a lot of my glossy lip balms that have that plumping additive to them, like the MAC Gloss Sticks, like the funny ones. They're not weird or funny, they just have different shades in them. They have like the green and blue and stuff. Loved those so much, but they made my throat feel tingly, and I can't really wear my Makeup by Mario ones anymore either because of that. Ever since I tried that Duck Plump NYX stuff, I've been ruined with that kind of stuff. It really awakened some kind of little allergy I had, but these don't have that plumping additive to them, so it doesn't hurt my throat, but they have such a gorgeous glossy sheen. Oh my gosh, my favorite shades have been Hot Chocolate. This one here, this is for sure going to be in my fall lippies video. Oh, she's gorgeous. Same with the shade Riri. Riri, Is It Fussy? And my last favorite is Fenty Glow. So I guess I kind of like the classic Fenty colors, but this formula just really does it for me. I love a glossy stick formula, and these have just really wowed me. The colors are gorgeous, the formula is nice, they stay put really well, they have good longevity for like a glossier type product. I've just been reaching for them nonstop. They're just really good and high quality. And lastly, the lip liners. These lip liners have done it for me. These have been the lip liners I can't stop thinking about every day. I'll mention my faves in these as well. So we have Satin Panty, which is kind of like a really pretty warmish, slightly brick color. Riri is really nice, kind of like a more pink option with a little bit of a mauvey tone, but these two other ones have been the ones I've been wearing the most. This one is Rubber Bands, gorgeous, kind of softly contouring brownish tone, medium brown. And then this last one, Peanut Butter. Peanut Butter has been my number one. It's like my everyday brown. Oh, it's nice. But these are insanely long wearing. I think these are my most long wearing lip pencils I've got. Once they have set and dried, they don't budge. They don't budge at all. I really have to like work in my Clinique makeup remover to like really remove them. Otherwise, they're truly locked into my skin and on my lips, which is so nice, especially for someone who likes to wear glossier products and lip oils and such. They really stay in place, which is great. I don't think they're done setting, not yet, but once they will, I'll show you the little rub test, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, actually, I think I did that in my B-roll, so I didn't let them chill long enough. I was impatient. But yeah, once they dry down fully, crazy. But they first start out really, really soft and creamy, so I would be cautious with the amount of pressure you're going in with initially, but then they dry down really quickly as well, but you get a good amount of work time. I also really like that they're in a classic sharpenable pencil. I've been using kind of any lip pencil sharpener, and it's been working out. It feels a little weird to sharpen these, not gonna lie. It feels like the first time I did it, I was like, oh, is it actually a retractable pencil? Because it feels like it is, but I like a sharpenable pencil too, because then you can get a super, super sharp point. These have wowed me beyond. I find that the longevity is quite similar to the Freck Beauty ones, but they also have like a more opaque, more intense, crisper ability to line your lips. The Freck ones have like a softer, cloudier look to them once they're around your lips. So those are like the major differences, but man, oh man, these are amazing. But that's going to do it for this roundup video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'll have everything listed in the description box down below, so feel free to check that out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!